Hello everybody, today we're playing a game of Will It Track. I've got a bunch of cars lined up and a bunch of track pieces. Essentially what we're doing is checking each track piece, seeing if the cars actually are compatible with them in any shape or object. First there was easy mode, this third party track from that Poundland that I picked up. I found it's a bit wider than standard Hot Wheels track, as it turns out it's actually slightly wider than this, since this can fit, or did fit entirely inside of it. I think it's ever so slightly wider. But first of all, we have, I think it's a Kidco. Yeah, it's a Kidco Countach. It's a slightly bit smaller than a standard Hot Wheels car, and it fits. It tracks. Can confirm, tracks. Easy. Second, we have a Majorette version of the Lamborghini Countach. I'm going to butcher the pronunciation a bunch of times. It was quite a bit thicker than the standard Hot Wheels car. Slightly a bit thicker, and begrudgingly, because it's an old car back from when they didn't really design these for track that much, and it's old, okay, leave it be. It tracks, definitely tracks, yep, that tracks. This is a Speed Racers one, I can't remember which one, this is the Snake, no, one of those ones, Racer X or something. As you can see, it's yellowed or whitened a bit. I think it was like that when I got it. We'll do a video on that at some point. It tracks. It's a bit long, but it tracks. Yep. This basically is our tester piece, effectively. We have the Hot Wheels High, which is a bit thick and a bit long. I do at some point when I get a copy, because I got rid of my old one, the old version of the bus, which I think was called the Surfing School Bus, which was a bit even longer, I think, and bigger than this, to test out some tracks. That was always the epitome of does not work, but it does track. Just about. Next up we have a truck. This is one of the smaller series of trucks. This one is called Speed Hauler. And while it is about the length of the track, but it tracks. It does a track. Again, previews of videos coming soon, no doubt. Next we have a different version of a truck. This is sort of slightly bit bigger. This one is called, I don't actually know. I actually know what this one's called. 23AAEA is the code on it. It's sort of a bigger, thicker hauler. This one begrudgingly and just barely tracks on this one. So it'd be interesting if it actually managed to track on the regular Hot Wheels track. You can all the Sweet 16-2 in there. But that one just barely tracks. I might take the 16-2 out of there so I don't lose it. That one just barely tracks. Next we have a minecart from Minecraft. It tracks, and the man doesn't fall out. Even so, I put this skeleton isn't from anything Hot Wheels, but it's from like the Minecraft Minis thing. And this minecart is, I believe, designed to be compatible with these, so hence why I put them in there. And next up, we have an even bigger truck, which definitely does not track. I don't think we'll find anything that tracks. I don't think we'll use this on testing this on the other piece of track because it doesn't track on this one, let alone anything else. So we'll be putting that to one side completely. That has failed the initial control test, and that doesn't work. I'm assuming this is from I think this is from the same series. It also, yeah, it's just too thick. Not even length that's the problem. It's very thick. And so we have one of the Sonic Racers or Sonic Racers, or Sonic and All Stars Racing ones. It might be Sonic Team Racing, actually. It's a pullback, but it tracks. I don't like going backwards, but it tracks. Good work, Sonic. Next one is Mario. This is one of the official Hot Wheels Mario ones. He's a bit tall, but he tracks. He's actually even taller than the bus, actually. He's a good head taller than the bus, even. Next we have just Cormit. This is a Corgi one, or the Corgi. I think I'm in a cereal box thing. I don't remember exactly what series it's from, but he tracks. We have one of the sort of the cheaper, I guess, sort of blind box or mini egg, whatever the heck they were, Mario Kart ones. Also tracks. And finally, just because I thought it was funny, a Lego car, which is a 4-wide base Lego car. So kind of the sort of smallest base you could really get on a reasonable Lego car. Surprisingly, I'm impressed, it tracks. Right, let's see the next one then. Moving on now to actual Hot Wheels track. So, yep, it tracks. Trying to do it in the same order. Yeah, you can kind of tell this is slightly thinner because now this is starting to draw. The Majorette just barely tracks, but if you were to, I guess, tip it, yeah, he kind of just... It might gain speed eventually, but I don't think that thickness really tracks that well. The bus goes well. Yep, our man in the minecart does just fine. Mario does just fine, because I think these were designed for the Mario Kart tracks, but I wasn't quite sure if they were like slightly different scale, the Mario Kart tracks. But, as you can see, all these fit quite nicely. Yep, the Lego car fails here. So the Lego car fails on regular track. Or at least this era of regular track. Unfortunate, we have one fail so far. What about you, Cormit? Cormit's fine. Then we have the truck. Which, yep, the truck is too big for this track. So it's big enough for the smaller track, but too big... Sorry, it's big enough for the thicker third-party track, but it's too big for this, which is interesting. And this, yep, this tracks. Because I guess it's the same sort of wheelbase line as regular Hot Wheels track, I suppose. You must have about you, didn't you? But, I mean, you were show-off. You were fine. Right, let's move on. Next up, we have that McDonald's curved piece, which is sort of a standard eventual 90-degree turn. Cormit first. He tracks. Lego car fails because he can't go... He struggles. He's okay in this wide bit. But then it kind of just goes, yeah, no, that doesn't really work all that well, and he can't really get off the track. That's another fail, but not in the same way as the other one, weirdly enough. This one, I guess, tracks, but this is actually, because it's a corner, it's a bit wide for it. Yep, tracks. Mario tracks. Sonic tracks. The bus... I'm surprised. I thought the bus would not track, being a longboard, but I guess he just about tracks. I don't know if a wider bus would track or not. That one passes. Right, the thick boy. Yep. No, he fails here. This is slightly too... The ends are slightly too short for him. The ends are slightly too short. He fails that one. That's his first fail. This one obviously tracks. The trucks, I'm assuming, are not going to track. I'm assuming they're turning circle. Well, I mean, first of all, this one already fails. But this one, I think, will fail here as well. If I can get him to... Oh, crikey, that's blinking bright today. Yeah, so you can kind of see... It kind of gets a bit... Although... Ooh, okay, once he's on, he actually just about does it. He just about makes it. That's interesting, that is. I didn't think the truck would make it, but the truck can go... Yeah, the truck can make it. The truck can be completely on that corner. I'm surprised, actually. I thought something that long. I guess because it's cut off at the exact right point. Maybe if it was a bit sort of a closer kind of camber, that it might not work. Interesting. Okay, next piece of track then. So this one's going to provide not only a height problem, but I think a width problem with these sort of Barrett things here. It would have been nice if I tested it with it in motion, as in the one of the previous videos you saw. I think momentum and width kind of fails it in terms of it just gets stuck without getting launched properly. But go on, Cormit. Oh no. Cormit can't even make the barrier. That's Cormit's first fail. I think most of the kart characters should fail here. This one can go through, but I think this one, yes, this one hits the things. Hits the rollers, which it wants to do, but I don't know if it does it in the right way. Maybe because it has maybe this angle sort of front helps it to push those properly. The rollers, maybe. I don't know, but that's a pass at least, sort of. The Kidco, I have to really push this through, to be honest. So I think the Kidco one, I don't even think it's touching. Okay, the back wheels are touching the rollers a bit. So yeah, I think that actually worked. That works fine. The bus. Oh, crikey, it's very bright. I'm getting some glare on my blooming phone screen. You can't see it because it's making visibility a bit more difficult. But that definitely works. Sonic. He has a bit less resistance, but he goes through nicely. Actually, yeah, Sonic actually goes through. Mario doesn't. He's a bit too big. What if canonically Sonic is just shorter than Mario, or smaller? Even Baby Peach can't get through. Wow. So, Sonic supremacy. Sega does what Nintendo don't. As does Minecraft. Just barely. Look at that. Look at that. That skeleton's like, almost had his head locked off. Almost got a skeleton skull piece. The Lego one is obviously... The Lego one isn't even going to get on there, is it? No. And no. As suspected. Right, you people like trucks, right? You people know a lot about trucks. Okay. The big rig is not clearing that, and I don't think the other one will fit in here. Right. Interesting. Next track piece. So next up we've got this piece, which presents two problems. One, it's sort of a length problem, as a lengthy car is going to get stuck, sort of potentially getting hit across the top of here. And two, it's a width problem because of this. And three, there's a problem with this door. Right. First up, the bus. Oh. Okay, that actually tracks. That's surprising. That actually tracks. And our handy boy here is going to make sure that nothing falls off. Right, I think this one should fail here on a height principle and a length principle, as this isn't simply a matter of camber. Yep, it's actually way too tall for this. And I think even if it could get through in the height, I think the camber, this is about the width of the object itself. So you might have been like that, being stuck like that. Right. The Kidco Countach. It tracks. As expected. Put him in there for a second. Right, Minecraft Skellington. In his minecart. Doesn't clear it. He's not tall enough. The minecart by itself would probably clear it, but not him. We tried the bus. Sonic just barely tracks. He's just barely short enough to ride. This one. Yep. Kermit definitely fails this, as he's taller than Sonic. Mario definitely fails this, as he's taller than Sonic. The Lego car definitely fails this. Yeah, this guy gets stuck. I mean, okay, I guess we call that as a just barely with assistance. A consolation prize, I guess. Sure. Right, next track piece. Ramp. Now, again, we're just checking height, really. So this can go on there, just barely. And it doesn't snag on anything, is the important thing. It doesn't snag. Realistically, we're testing certain elements of sort of width. As sometimes wheelbase width is one thing. Sometimes snagging on something else is another. Like this, I mean, admittedly this will just jump. And this would jump and do a thing, so it'd be more like that and would go through. But it does catch on here. Things are catching on this bit, actually. That could also be why the launching isn't quite right, because something's catching on there. It's the trucks I want to check, to be honest. 1 second. Oh, I've dropped it. I've dropped my phone. Oh, I hate having to edit videos. I'm gonna have to edit these two pieces together. And I'm gonna leave this bit in so you people know how much work I do. So the truck kind of does it. I think that, yeah, the back bit goes through just fine. Using hands to do this and not having a tripod or like a body cam, I'd love a body cam. Because a body cam would make this so much easier. Just touching a lapel on my lapel or whatever. So, or could just, or a proper tripod or whatever. A phone tripod or even a selfie stick might make this a bit easier. This doesn't track even on this. So because I think there's sort of jagginess here, it tracks on the sort of the thick thing just barely, but it doesn't track here, interestingly enough. The others would obviously track on there. I don't think there's any issue there with anything else. Next up, I've got this odd direction changing curve piece. I don't think anything should have an issue with it. It might be a camber problem though. A camber for things like the trucks, perhaps not being able to make a certain type of corner. Yeah, so this, for example, really is struggling on this particular corner because of cornering. It can do it, but only barely. Really struggling. And I'm struggling to do this in two hands. Yeah, so it gets stuck. Also, this is also supposed to be like that, but I don't have any supports underneath. So I have to sort of hold the track on this at the same time. So it does just barely track. I don't think this... Yeah, we know already that won't track. Holding things, I swear. I think the longer I try and do a video as well, the more just tied up my hands get. Yeah. I mean, we knew this was going to happen anyway, yeah, so it doesn't really... It's poor car. I don't think anything else... Maybe this would have an issue. Is this an issue for the bus? Even? I think that's the easier turn. Yes, I think it's just... Yeah, this is fine. Maybe a longer truck that could actually fit this might have an issue. Give something with a wider camber rather than a shorter camber. Because of the length of the turn, I don't know. I also don't know what best to use this kind of track with yet. It's a nice splitter though. It's obviously off the big garage set that I have, but there's probably other applications for it. And then finally we have this one. So realistically, I want to angle this like that so you don't see me blinking computer screen. Actually, I could just turn the computer screen off, couldn't I? Right. So I think the only thing I want to test with this realistically is... Oh, okay. It's just going to fall, isn't it? So it fails on that front. I mean, realistically, this should have come with supports. This particular piece should have come with support going down here, like. And there's also a thing here. I don't know you're supposed to put track pieces onto it to support it. Actually, that might be what that's there for. Hang on a minute. Now, I don't know how I've never noticed that before. But I guess you learn something new every day. That should support that. Right. It is still trying to fall. Yeah, so I think the angle of this is just too tight. So the first one this really fails at because it can't go around the length. It can't really snake around that corner. It's just too long. And I wonder if the bus will have the same problem. Actually, let's angle this so that this falls toward the truck. Okay, that does actually track. That's interesting. Okay, it has a chance of hitting the top bit, I guess. But he also tracks. Maybe a bigger character, maybe like a wider character like Bowser might not track here because of this. By the time, actually, I guess by the time that might be a height problem more than a width. Actually, yeah, you'd have to be quite tall. I don't think his head is. Yeah, it's. Oh, it does hit there, but I think if he's outside enough, it clears it just fine. But a big wide character, sort of like Bowser, might not be able to do it. Perhaps. Skeleton does just fine. I think, yeah, that works. Okay, interesting. Is this any thicker than this other piece of track for any reason? Sort of, so that guy can track. And then Peach, little Peach. Yep. Oh. I hate phones. Okay. I think she's actually too thin. So that might be a case if she tracks but not well because she's small. And so because of the weirdness of the corner, she sort of just slides. It just slides the cheap car rather than like going around properly. It's a combination of the wheels being rubbery and all those other factors. Interesting. We learned something. Maybe Sonic has the same problem? No, maybe it's because his car is less round. Right. And on that interesting scientific bombshell, I think it's time to end the episode. Say goodbye to all of our good, wonderful friends in our wonderful cars. More videos coming to the channel soon on this and more topics. And we'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye for now.